makes me a Christian? What makes me a Christian? What is the fundamental difference between me and any other faith? When I stand next to somebody else with any other faith, even faithlessness is also a faith in something else. What makes the difference between me and them? What makes me sure that I am genuinely saved, for that matter? What makes me sure that I'm genuinely a Christian? Everybody needs to be good. Everybody's taught to be good. But it's not how you behave that makes you a Christian. It's the fact that you have Jesus. It is that Christ has made you alive to God. The difference between you and an unbeliever, between a Christian and a non-Christian, is that you are alive to what? The presence of God, the holiness of God, and the power of God. You're alive to it. You know it. You can feel God's presence, not just in worship time. Everybody thinks that in worship time, you come in worship time, we've come into the presence. Yeah, you are in the presence of God all along. A believer will live in the presence of God. At worship time, when we all gather, we express our love in the presence of God, in the assembling of the saints. We testify about Him. But for the rest of time, we are in His presence. A believer knows the difference. He is alive to the presence of God, alive to the holiness of God. That means sin. Sin is like a speck in the eye, man. The moment there is sin in your life, you'll be like, oh God, I can't see. That's how a believer should be with sin, because he's aware of the holiness of God. And he's aware of the power of God. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.